Now some of you were asking, listen please, some of you were asking about if your lion or your tiger is up in the air, could you add a rock? So I want to show you something. So let's pretend that my lion is up in the air and is not standing on this elephant. If I wanted to add a rock, I could go in here and I could add a line. And if I put my rock line here, is he completely on the rock or is part of him floating in the air? Right, so when we do the rock, we have to make sure that the line comes up and goes behind the second leg, the leg that's furthest away. Now, do you see now it looks like he's standing? Mm-hmm. Now I could put other little details of my rock. I can make it kind of look flat, right? But you want to make sure that whatever line you put up here goes higher than the back leg so that it looks like he is on the ground and not floating. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a tree. So watch what I'm going to do, because we're going to put an owl and a tree up here. So I'm going to draw a tree, and in 3rd grade you're going to learn how to draw trees. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a kind of a big curve. This is going to be like my branch coming out. You find a spot on your paper that you think is going to work well for a tree. And I'm going to erase this line inside here, because we're not going to see the horizon line through my tree because the tree is solid. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a V right here. I'm going to put a V right here, and notice how this is thicker, and then do you see how it's getting smaller? And then if I want, I could make this come up and I could add another V. So are you kind of seeing how my tree is there? Okay, that's just kind of a really basic way of creating branches. And then watch what I do at the bottom. I want this tree to look like it's in the ground, right? So we're going to make a root system. And again, I'm going to use zigzags, similar to kind of what I did with the lion. See how I just kind of create a zigzag? See how it looks like it's going into the ground? Kind of the root system. And then we are going to make an owl right up here, sitting on the branch. Okay? Are you ready for the owl? Okay, here we go. I'm going to do an oval. Again, we're starting with the body first. Okay? And then I'm going to overlap another circle. I'm going to overlap, and I'm going to erase the circle inside the little line inside my circle. Okay? We can add a little beak, little triangle, upside down triangle for a beak. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to kind of create these big eyes, like big circles, and then I can put, here's my big circles, and then dots in the middle. Owls have like little ears. They have very little ears. You can put like little ears on. That's okay. I'm going to add some wings. So here's my wing. It's kind of sitting. He's sitting on the branch, so his wings are kind of tucked into his side. And then we'll have to, yep, you'll have to erase the lines. And then here's the little feathers. I'm going to put like a little zigzag for the feathers. And then he has a tail, right? So we can put...
I don't think owls have tails. They do.
Yeah, owls have tails.
They have like difficult trying to find mine's like tree branches. My tree branch
Now,
is too thick.
Watch how I do. Class, watch how I do. I'm going to zoom in on this. Watch how I do his little claws. Okay, ready? I'm going to erase a little bit of the branch. Okay? And how many claws does an owl have per foot? 3 claws per foot? Okay, so watch.
2 in the front and 1 in the back.
Oh, 2 in the, okay, so we'll do 2 in the front, and then we'll pretend the other one is in the back, right? Because it's grabbing on. So watch this. I'm going to put a curve here and a curve here. A curve here and a curve here. So it kind of looks like M's, right? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Kind of look like M's. I'm going to put a line here because that's my branch inside. And then I'm going to put V's. So do you see the claws? How he's kind of grabbing onto the branch? Okay?
Okay. This looks really cool.
Okay. Now, let's do one other thing. Let's do one other thing. We are going to add a sun. Do we put suns in the corner?
No.
No, and it can't be a kindergarten sun. A kindergarten sun looks like this, right? We don't do kindergarten suns. So we want to we want to design a sun. And if I do a sun that's this big, what would happen to my animals? Right, they probably wouldn't make it because your sun's really not that close. Your sun is far away. It's your sun, when you think about it and you go outside, the sun is small in the distance. So I want you to go in and I want you to think about what kind of design would you like to do, and I want you to add a sun. And it can be anything you want it to be, except it cannot be a what? Yeah, it cannot be a kindergarten sun. And then when you're all done adding your sun, I want you on the bottom right-hand corner of your paper, you're going to add your name. We're going to put these in your table folders for you to turn in. Okay? So design your sun and make sure your name is in the bottom right-hand corner.